Okay, so it's like the third of the videos I'm making a day. I'm just vlogging. So yeah, the one I'll upload is basically like after I had the talk with the manager, but essentially escalated things with HR and the manager went to her boss, who's the director of manufacturing, got involved with things, and I had to sit down with them as well, both of them as well, and they basically told me to take a few days off, and I'm going home, and obviously, like, I'm thinking this means they'll take a few days off, and then we'll just fire you, sort of a deal, even though I initiated this whole process. I'm the one who went and, reported this whole chain of events. And I went in detail. I'm going to have to go back to these vlogs to sort of get a timestamp on when exactly this stuff started happening, when it started escalating. Because, luckily, it's almost like ironically a good thing that I did all those vlogs about, the situation with this girl. Because I can go, okay, I uploaded, this video on thus and such day, thus and such time, and I can go back and I can pull up dates, approximate times, I guess you could say. I mean, they could probably refer to the schedule for that day when XYZ could have gone down or went down. And, I'll have a bit of a more accurate timeline. I'm going to start putting stuff together, which really frustrates me and annoys me because, like, I have that exam next week. And I should be focusing on that, but who knows? It may be a case of, like, I put all this effort into putting together a timeline, they just decide to get rid of me. But I made it clear, okay, this girl initiated things to begin with, asking me, stuff like that. And then, flirtatious behavior. And then, of course, also this other coworker egging me on to go ask her out. Because I literally asked, like, okay, like, what is the... I'd asked that coworker, like, what is the culture like around here? Because, they have their rules and all that. But what is the culture around here? Do coworkers date, at this company? That sort of thing, because she'd been here for a while. And she seemed to kind of give me the go-ahead with that. Not kind of. She totally did. She 100% did. I gotta be firm about this. None of this, well, I think, maybe, kind of, sort of, that sort of deal. But the thing that has me worried, kind of thinking over all this stuff, is that the director of manufacturing he used the expression, think about it, this is the kind of place you want to work, this is the kind of work you want to do, which kind of gave me the impression that my head's on a top bug. I brought that up, and he's like, oh, no, that's not the case, we're not doing that, we need to do further investigation and all that kind of stuff. And it's sort of like, if you know how intersexual dynamics works, 9 times out of 10, they'll take the woman's side. So I'm really fearing for my employment here. And again, this is something that, I made it clear from the get-go, I tried to avoid this. I freaking tried to avoid this. I was closed up. I didn't really open up people because I didn't want to have something like this happen, etc., etc., etc. Then I got, this girl making all these, intrusive questions and comments and remarks. And then I'm making very suggestive, leading questions. Let's just put it there, leading questions, giving those. And then another coworker egging me on to go ask her out, though. I gotta hurry up. This girl's very attractive, and she's single right now. And what, you got any competition? And is it this guy? And etc. Like, I think I mentioned in the last few. I'm reiterating a lot of things or repeating myself, but I basically had to repeat my whole story to this guy, and he said, best situation is, okay, take a few days off, everybody cools down. We'll do an investigation. The HR will basically be involved, and they'll probably be contacting you, and so on. And yeah, so I'm leaving now. Basically, I had some stuff that I've been scheduled to do, and like I said, I deleted any sort of thing that I could consider to be like hostile or used against me, but I could also explain sort of the whys of why this stuff kind of came out, because I got really frustrated and angry with this, because I mean, look, like, this is my job. I'm here to do work. I'm here to get this stuff done, and for people to be bringing this kind of stuff in, this kind of dynamic into the picture and mucking things up and treating it all like it's a little game to them, and I wanted to treat me like I'm somehow deficient or screwed up for, I interpreted things this way, kind of a deal. I'm just very angry and frustrated right now, and I'm worried. Again, we'll just see how things go. Likelihood is they'll probably make it at the kind of point where we think that you should leave or something like that. Because you're the only one, and it's like, if it becomes a matter of me being the only one saying this, and everybody else went to back up, the girl, which, look, I know enough about red pill stuff, which probably is where it becomes useful to know that likelihood is people are going to defend her, and they're going to say, she didn't mean anything, or nothing was going on, or blah blah blah. But and again, I tried to make it clear that, look, I'm not here for this sort of stuff. I got pulled into this, Obviously, I would feel really vindicated if she got punished and was forced to leave because of this kind of behavior. But it's kind of like I'm not holding my breath, and I'm probably going to have to give my old boss another call, see how things are with him. And I'd probably be going back to the old company, to be honest with you, like, assuming that even if it was an attempt to hire a position, at least as long as I have something that's bringing money in, and I don't have to deal with this kind of garbage. Even if it was for 6 months or it was for like a year, I could go, pedal to the metal, and I could do what I needed to do to make the money that I needed to make to keep a roof over my head. Because, in all honesty, like, this makes me feel like crap. And like, this should be a professional workplace environment. There shouldn't be any flirting going on, or dating, or anything of that nature going down. It really shouldn't be. And I know you're dealing with humans, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, when you talk about being an adult, part of being an adult is realizing you can't always just act on what you want to act on. You can't go and yell at or punch that guy. You can't, get into some sort of, verbal altercation. You can't be going and, flirting with your coworker, or, give them all these indications of interest to get them to ask you out, and then turning them down, and then, you can't be doing all this kind of stuff. Creating that sort of cycle. You can't be. It's a workplace environment. You're not supposed to be doing that. Knock it off. And of course, ironically enough, or interestingly enough, I just have to throw out the word ironic or ironically, but interestingly enough, said girl was, she left her desk, she walked away, I don't know where she went. Maybe she went to work on whatever she was assigned, probably. The guy, probably him too. I don't know if they know what's coming down the pipeline, but very least I would hope that, at least put some fear into them, some concern into them. I'm tired of this. I'm already tired of this. It's gone on. It's actually gone on more so for like about a month and a half. First few months it was just, we're working, we're doing work. no big deal, that sort of thing, and then stuff starts heating up. And I mean, I'm glad that I at least initiated it, because if I had just let it sit there and boil over and it became her going in to talk to them, like, it's almost like the first person who goes and complains to the teacher is kind of automatically biased in their direction, you know, in their favor. And yeah, they're trying to bring in, you know, HR to be like unbiased about things, but same time, it's sort of like, it's kind of like, well, I'm sure they already have their own biases. I just want to have my job, and I do my job, and I make my money, and I get things done, and I go home, you know. I don't want to try and pretend like we're all buddies when we're really not. I don't want there to be any sort of romantic stuff going on between anyone. That just should not be happening, period. End of story. And I would reiterate that 100%, 150%. But I don't know. Maybe I'll call my dad, and if he actually picks up his phone, maybe I'll talk to him a bit. But I think I've said what I'm gonna say, and we'll have to see where the chips fall. And if they fall against me, then, you know, then hopefully I can get something at the old job going, because we never had any of these freaking problems. There were days where we got on each other's nerves, but it was never romantic. It was never like that. You know, it was like, okay, maybe you want to tone it down on these kinds of jokes. Maybe you want to, like, just, you know, focus in on the work you do, or maybe you want to blah, blah, you know, whatever. Do these sorts of things a different way, and you'll get a better result. Or maybe, you know, I don't know. And we would bounce back from things. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna finish up now and finish recording, and probably call my dad. So I'll see you folks around. Bye bye.